this was an especially powerful memoir. Why was now the right time to release this?
Oh my gosh. I mean, there's so many reasons why like now was the right time, but I've had so much time to reflect and kind of collect my thoughts and really process everything that happened on the show. And I feel like now's the right time also because I'm now an adult, looking back at my experiences as a child, and I have a different perspective. And not only that, we're in a different age. I mean, in a post-2020 world, I feel like people are more open to talking about these types of topics of like race and these toxic environments, you know what I mean? So, and mental health. So it's really important that I feel like I share my story, especially in this climate as well, with just, you know, books are being burned and, you know, like just the climate of everything. It's really important that we tell diverse stories, and mine is definitely diverse, and it's definitely one that is impactful, in my opinion.
No, definitely. And speaking of that topic, you wrote in your book about how you had suffered some certain comments that were made about your race, and also microaggressions that were made towards you. Why do you think that this topic was something that was it's seemingly glossed over in the show?
Right. Well, on the show, they don't really cover too many serious topics. You know, it's a reality show. It's supposed to be funny and kind of comical.
It even feels like after the show, like it wasn't really talked about that
No,
much.
it wasn't. It was definitely glazed over, kind of like brushed under the rug, you know? And I think a lot of people didn't even realize what some of the microaggressions were. I mean, I did. I did.
Yeah.
My mom did, and I'm sure others looking in did see that, but I think a lot of people didn't realize that. But not only that, I think some people just didn't really care. And, you know, they really tried to protect, you know, certain people on the show. And that had an effect on me. But I think that's part of it. They were just trying to protect some of my cast members.
And was talking about this topic one of the reasons that you didn't want to be a part of the reunion that happened? I think it was last year.
I didn't want... I was already starting to write my book, like in the process of getting my book together when they asked me to do it, which is always nice to be asked to, you know, be a part of something, of course, something that's been, you know, I did for so long. But just didn't feel like the right thing. Didn't feel like the right fit, especially with, I've been so far removed from reality and that world, and having to be on all the time and having to watch what I say. And, you know, there's certain things that I wanted to bring up, and I knew that they weren't going to bring that up. I knew that they weren't going to cover topics that I would want to cover, because they're still going to protect, they're still going to protect people, you know? But for me, I felt like it just wasn't the right move, especially since I was working on my book already, and even if I wasn't though, I just knew that wouldn't be a good place for me to go to and share my story, because it definitely would have been watered down, and it probably would have been cut out at some point too.
Well, in your book, you spoke on a lot of things, and you shared about a lot of things that I feel like would like shock a lot of viewers. I know as a viewer myself, I watched like the whole show from the beginning, and I feel like one thing that shocked me was you had spoke about your relationship with Gia, and I feel like on the show she was portrayed as like very nice and like kind to all the girls, but you had a bit of a different relationship with her. Why was that something you wanted to speak out with, and how are things with her today?
Yeah, you're actually the first person who asked me that. That's so funny. Yeah, well, Gianna and we had a very like interesting relationship. When I was younger, she was really hard on me, you know. And like my mom had to talk to her at some point because it got really bad. And, you know, I already dealt with Abby. I'm like, I don't need to deal with another Abby. You know, I've already deal with enough, you know. And throughout the seasons, we actually ended up having a nice little bond, you know, especially like the last couple seasons. She and I had a really good rapport together, which I really was thankful for. And we had like a good respect for each other. I don't like really keep in contact with her. There's no bad blood between the two of us.
When you grow older, like you change and you grow out of it.
And I can't speak for everyone. Everyone has different experiences with like everyone on the show. but this is just mine. But my relationship with her, I mean, I don't keep in contact with her, but I every now and then, if we're both in Pittsburgh or at an event or something, I will bump into her every now and then, and she's always nice whenever I bump into her. Yeah.
And I feel like you talked a lot about other relationships, like with your friendships with people on the show, that like started off maybe a little rocky, like with JoJo. You were that like things were a little bit tense, but then you grew closer as you felt you were both excluded from the group, and you really bonded over that, and you traveled together in some places. But how's your friendship like with her today? I feel like she's like in a new relationship. She seems pretty happy. Like,
I don't keep up with JoJo that much anymore, but I'm really proud of everything that she's doing. She seems really happy, you know. She's killing it. But I haven't talked to her in a really long time.
Yeah. You're both really busy. Like I mean, you were just at the Victoria's Secret fashion show.
Yes,
Can we talk about that really quickly? What was that like?
Oh my gosh,
also,
amazing.
you were serving the look. Like, you were serving it up.
Thank you. I had the best time. I work with Victoria's Secret Pink on like campaigns and like partnerships and everything. So I've worked with them for like the past year now, and I love them as a brand, and I loved what they did this year. I really do. Like the models that they chose, the outfits, like the glamour of it all. I really loved it. I thought it was a great show, and I actually had the pleasure of going last year too. So this is my second time at the Victoria's Secret fashion show, and girl, it was amazing.
Now, when are we going to see you on the stage? I feel like we need to make that happen. We need to manifest
this. Would love that. I would love that.
Yes.
I mean, you never know. I'm going to put it out into the universe. Please.
There you go. The new Victoria's Secret angel. That would be iconic.
Would love that.
Now, I feel like not only that, but like you just are crushing it in life in general. One thing you talked about in the book was your decision to go to college. You went to UCLA. You graduated. That's so exciting.
Thank you.
Can you talk a bit about why that decision was important to you? Because I feel like from the outside looking in, like you're crushing it, like you're an actress, you're on a TV show, like you were on soap opera. Like, why did you want to prioritize this sort of experience for yourself?
For sure. I've always wanted to go to college. Like, even when I was younger, I always dreamed of going to college. Always a goal of mine. And I actually talk about in the book, like, you know, trying to decide if I want to wait a year, if I want to, what I even want to go to college for. It was a very kind of stressful time in my life, trying to figure out what I want to do with my career. Like, if I go to school, is it going to stop my career? Is it going to, you know? But I'm so happy I went. I had a great time. I learned so much, just not like academically, but just socially, and just as a young adult, I learned so much just being there on campus, meeting new people, learning about new things that I never thought that I would even be introduced to, you know, and I enjoyed it. Like, I really did.
And I feel like one person who's really proud of you, obviously, is Dr. Holly.
Oh my gosh,
Dr. Holly has always had your back.
Always.
And you had a whole chapter in this book about your bond with your mom. Can you share a little bit about like how special that relationship is with you and Dr. Holly? Because she's like a fan favorite also.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Honestly, when people meet me, before they even say anything, they're like, I love your mom. That's like the first thing. That's like the first thing they say to me. But my mom really is my best friend. She really is. My biggest role model, my biggest cheerleader, you know. And we've just been through so much together, and through thick and thin, we truly, like, to this day have such a beautiful relationship and a beautiful bond. And yeah, like, she's literally my ride or die. We spend a lot of time together. I literally talk to her every day. She's just that person for me. She's my rock, and literally my world. So we just have had a crazy experience, and we did it together. And I'm so glad that she has been so supportive of me through everything, because there were times where she could have been like, you know what, this is like, well, there were times where she didn't want to be a part of the show anymore, and she didn't really want this, you know, she never really wanted this for herself, being in the spotlight, being on TV, you know, but she did it for me, And I'm so grateful for that. And she continues to this day to just do whatever she can to help me.
Yeah. And I feel like one of the reasons she was so beloved on the show was because she always like handled herself with such grace. I feel like even in the tense moments when she was getting into it with like Abby or the other moms, she always had a way to.
She always held it down. She
Yeah.
always held it down. She really was the voice of reason, really.
No, truly.
Yeah, I don't know how she did it. Kept her composure and never like caught her out of character, you know what I mean? So I'm just in awe of her to this day. I don't know how she did it. I probably could not do that.
Yeah, no, it seems like an intense situation to be in.
Yes.
Speaking of intense situations, you wrote in the book about an explosive argument that happened between your mom and Abby that it didn't make air. Why did you think that they didn't choose to air that?
Oh, I think it would make her look not as likable. You know? I think it would have taken it too far.
Yeah. That was one of the more shocking things I read in the book.
Yes, for sure. It was never aired. Everyone was there during it, but yeah, it was never aired. And I think part of it is just because, you know, they were protecting her, protecting the show. I mean, I feel like if they would have showed that, I feel like they would have been in some hot water. Yeah. I think because it just crosses a line.
Yeah.
It's just unacceptable.
Yeah.
And even though, like, and I do have to say, like, I'm grateful that stuff was taken seriously at the time, but again, it should have never escalated to that.
Yeah. If you could go back in time and share a message with your younger self at that time in your life, what would the message be?
I would probably say to just like always keep going, you know, and everything always works out, you know, like things always get better, no matter what.
Yes. Now, in another portion you wrote, and this was crazy to me, that Abby had 911 on speed dial. She threatened to call the police on you and the other girls once for not coming into the dance studio, which I was like, I could see that happening. I was like, that is like the craziest thing I've heard.
Yeah.
Was this sort of behavior something that happened more than once if she had 911 on speed dial? But first of all, can we talk about 911 speed dial? It's literally 3 numbers.
Literally 3 numbers.
Like, that was wild.
Yeah, but I'm not joking. Like, she really liked to call 911 a lot.
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
That's wild. I don't even know what else to say. When I read that, I was like, oh my gosh.
I know. Hearing you saying it back to me, I'm like, yeah, that does sound...
Like, also, what did the police say to that? They're like, could you want us to arrest these children? Like, what?
Actually, I don't know what would have happened.
That was wild.
Nothing, I guess.
That was wild. Yeah, when I read that, I was like, this tracks. I can see this happening.
Right?
Yeah,
Yes. If you watch the show, you would be like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. After the Baskin and Robbins scene, I could see that happening.
For sure.
Now, a major moment in the series was when Kelly and Abby got into a physical altercation on air. You wrote about that, it being very traumatic. Obviously, you're a child when you're seeing this happening, and that it was traumatic for you and the other girls to witness. You wrote in that moment, it felt like people, and especially the moms on the show, couldn't be trusted. Can you share more about that moment and what it was like?
Well, I feel like that whole moment showed a lot of true colors, you know, just the nature of the situation and seeing some of my best friends just like totally traumatized. And not really being able to do anything about it. You're just there and like you try to comfort them, but it's like you can't really do anything about it. And I can't imagine how they felt when that happened. And it's so crazy because, you know, it's like, it's a huge sound on TikTok and like, yes, everyone laughs at it. It's funny. It's like the iconic moment. But at the time, it was really scary. I mean, we were children. That's a very scary situation.
Imagining your mom or your friend's mom.
Yeah.
Like, that's like...
Yeah. And just seeing how some of the adults acted in the situations, how it even got to that place and how people, just like, you know, things would happen where the adults would make certain decisions or hide things, and all of this behavior was encouraged. All this bad behavior was encouraged. And I'm not even just talking about the fight. Like, before the fight, after, like, it's just... it was real. I had to realize really early on, and especially in that moment, I realized I was like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, I can't trust some of these people how I thought I could. You know, everyone's your friend up into a certain extent.
Yeah.
And that's not usually the way you should live your life and view your friends, but in that situation, because of how toxic it can be, because everyone is trying to fight for the top, because it's very cutthroat, I kind of had to see it that way.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you wrote multiple times, and I mean, the title of the book is Bottom of the Pyramid. It seems like it's like kind of set up to be this ultra competitive type of situation, not even just in the dance, but also to make more airtime. It feels like there was that type of thing.
Absolutely.
But on a positive note, you have a close friendship with Chloe. She wrote the foreword to the book.
She did. She's been so supportive.
Yes. What's your friendship like now?
Oh my gosh, it's great. We're actually supposed to go see Misty Copeland tomorrow night in New
Iconic.
York for her last performance at ABT. I'm so excited.
I'm obsessed with Misty. She's
obsessed
so
with her.
Amazing.
She's one of my favorite dancers of all time. But yeah, so Chloe and I have had such a great relationship. We've been through so much together. I've known her since I was like 3 years old. So the fact that we can still be friends to this day really shows our friendship. It's grown over time, you know, and I'm so grateful for how supportive she's been through this whole thing. She has really encouraged me to kind of like tell my story and speak my truth.
And you wrote that at one point, though, she did have to have a boundary with people on the dance team, including you, and she stopped speaking to you for a while because, like, when she left the show, she needed to create space for herself. What do you think? Why do you think she made that choice at the time?
I think she had to. I understand it now.
Yeah.
At the time, you know, she had left the show, and in order for her to heal and move on from it, she needed to disconnect from us.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard. You can't really be friends with someone who's still in it. I get it. Probably brings back memories. It's probably too much to handle, you know?
Yeah.
So I get it. I understand, because I've had to do the same with other castmates, you know? Sometimes it's too much and you have to cut ties.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
I don't take it personally.
No, definitely. I also want to say you're crushing it on social media.
Thank
I feel like
you.
you're just like living your best life.
Thank you.
Like, what are some of your tips you would give to people who are younger, who look up to you, who want to like follow in your footsteps?
Oh, that's so sweet. I feel like you have to like be your own like biggest fan. You have to believe in yourself. You have to bet on yourself every single time. Yeah, I feel like that's the best advice, and also to like know your worth. My whole book is about resilience and starring in your own life. So knowing your worth is key, you know. Don't let anyone steal your joy. Don't let anyone dim your light.
No, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I also know that like so many young dancers like look up to you and your story. Like, what does it feel like to see like those fans who are like, they've been following you since you were a kid, and now they want to be the same type of dancer that you've been?
Well, it's an honor to even be like looked up to in that way. Yeah, I feel like I love being a role model to the youngins, I guess, because, you know, I wish I would have had someone that I could like look up to in that way. And I had certain people, but like, you know, I try to lead with love and nothing but it, you know, and it's an honor to even be considered as a role model. And I love to encourage, I love to inspire, and that's all I want to do, especially with like the young girls, young kids, just like in dance class, especially who look like me, who sometimes feel like they're the only ones, who maybe they feel excluded, maybe they feel overlooked, maybe they feel like, you know, like the odd one out. I've lived all of those lives, and I hope that I can bring comfort to some of them.
Yeah, no, I think
to show them that like things do get better, and you know, things always end up okay, you know.